Hello friends, we're learning how to use diatonic chords to enhance your solos. Specifically, we're using thirds in the tune framework of Big Sciota to bring out a little bit more and enhance your improvisation. So, in the last lesson we learned how to take the major minor thirds and use them essentially as notes in the scale within the framework of the tune, the chords, and the melody of Big Sciota. So what we're going to do now is the same idea, except we're going to add a note to our two fretted notes here, and that is in the bass. We're going to add bass harmony to it. So instead of just playing this, we're going to add the bass here. So you can add a different tone and texture to what you're doing in your improvisation. The bass notes will also agree with the notes in the G major scale. They're just starting in a different place. So we learned how you can take the framework for Big Sciota. This is our solo. For example. So now we want to add the bass to it. So with every move you make, it's still going to agree here with your major scale. So if we kind of play through that again, maybe we'll do the B part up here. We'll start like this. And there's a lot of different ways you can do it. So I would encourage you to experiment a bit with how this works. You could even move the bass note independent of the rest of them, or have it in a different kind of pattern. For example, all the while, it's still agreeing with the G major scale. You're just doing it in the bass. So it's a bit of a textural thing. You definitely don't have to do it all the time, but it certainly brings out a lot more of an interesting tone and texture to what you're doing in your harmony parts. So to recap, basically what we did was we took our thirds and added a bass note to it. And that brings out a lot more depth and richness to what you're playing, so you can get a little bit more of a different kind of voice leading in your improvisational solos as you work throughout the framework of Big Sciota. So for example, if we were to take, once again, the A part to Big Sciota sounds like, and as you crawl up and down the neck, you can find different ways to make these things connect. There's a lot of ways that you can play with it and bring it into your techniques as you already have them, and try and see what depth of color you can come up with in your improvised breaks in Big Sciota, but not just that, but other songs as well. It translates across the board. So be sure to try that out and have a good time doing it.